Hi, I just realized that I made a technical error with the previous post, so I'm trying it again. So let's start learning about on week 5 of Wondrous Wednesday, citizenship. So you may be wondering, why are we looking at citizenship this week? It's really an important part of 4-H, and it's an important part of our communities. Citizenship really is just the basics of you being not just you alone, but you being a part of a group. It could be your family group, it could be your community group, it could be your county, your state, and even the world. So 4-H citizenship is an important part of the project work that we have in 4-H. Again, it is local to our county, and the things you learn even can have a huge impact across the world. So even our 4-H pledge, I pledge my head to clearer thinking, my heart to greater loyalty, my hands to larger service, my health to better living for my club, my community, my country, and my world. So we are mindful, even when we say our pledge at the beginning of our club meetings, that we want to be a good citizen. Now, you may think about how in the world, there's a lot of words, there's a lot of things I don't know about, but that's the nice thing about 4-H. We can learn these things together. So just a few fun facts about volunteering. It helps you counteract the effects of stress, anger, and anxiety. So our whole society has changed the way it's operating right now with COVID-19. 4-H members, you had an abrupt end to your traditional schooling, and you had to learn to adapt, and you probably had some frustration, anxiety, and anger related to that. Also, if we're honest, probably your folks had some issues they had to work through, and we all have had some things we've had to learn and adapt and adjust to what's going on. Volunteering just makes us happy. Researchers measure the hormones that are in our brain, and they've discovered that it just delivers immense pleasure. And we're just hardwired as people. We want to help other people that are in need. So volunteering is when we work to help people in a particular area. So we're not just doing anything. We have a goal, we have a project, we have a plan. It's unpaid work, and there is a social benefit to that. The nice thing about volunteering, things are getting done to change our communities. And they're getting done by you, whether that's the 4-H member, the parent, or the volunteer leader, and they may not get done in any other way. Your time is so invaluable. The Arkansas Department of Volunteerism values your time at over $25 an hour. So it's not that we do it for the money. We do our community service and our volunteering to help our communities be better. But also, as you're doing it, know that you are making a huge economic impact in your community. So what we're talking about with the citizenship, oh my goodness, I'm tongue-tied, with citizenship is community service. And this is the basis of what makes our community and our programs so invaluable. And what I want to really stretch you to think about and to change from just community service is change over into service learning. Now, both are important, and particularly community service is very important for our Clover Buds and our younger 4-H members, although I have seen some amazing work with junior 4-H members and how they have had huge impacts in their community. So both are important, and both include volunteering. But the difference is service learning adds your project work with it. So as you're volunteering, it increases your self-esteem. It just gives you a natural sense of accomplishment. It gives you pride and identity, and it makes you really feel like you're more likely to accomplish your future goals. And I want you to accomplish those goals. Service learning links your 4-H work with your community service. So the example I'm going to give you here is a beginner sewing group. They're learning how to make a pillowcase here. They take that knowledge and then they start making a quilt of valor. And if you notice in the back of the picture, hanging off the ironing board is that pillowcase that they all learned on that first day. So they kept working on it, and they, in their quilt of valor, they donated this to a deserving veteran. And then they were able to report their work in the local newspaper. So you see how it's just not a one-time event. They learned a skill, it built on the next level and the next level until they had a pretty nice sized project that started. It began in June and it completed in November. Another example is learning how to cook. You may take a class, you may take a 4-H day camp, but you learn your basic cooking skills. You may even compete in a 4-H educational activity that involves cooking. And then you come together with your friends in your club when we're able, after the social distancing is over. And this group provided meals for people that were working over Christmas and they couldn't be with their families. So they made, I think it was, let me count real quick, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, about 12 meals to go to people that were working and couldn't be with their families over the Christmas holidays. So you see how you learn a cooking skill, you maybe compete in a few activities, and then you come together and you make a community impact. The important thing with service learning is it's developed by you. Your parents, your leaders, your agents don't develop and come up with the program. You develop that. So we had a member a few years ago that her area was leadership, and she realized that there were some people in the community that did not have coats for winter. So she came up with the project of a clothing drive. She realized she wanted it to be coats only. She researched and found that there was a national project called One Warm Coat. She made contact. She registered with them. She got the graphics. You notice there's a clothing or a coat box that she set out several places across our county. And as they got full, they would call her and she would go empty them. And then she collected all the coats and made a donation to a community service group here in the county. So very lots of planning, lots of detail. It wasn't hard. It just took lots of steps going through. And then we had another member that was, her area was foods and nutrition. So she realized at the holiday time, a different year, that there were families that didn't have food. So she developed collection boxes for CJON, which is a group that hands out food during the holidays here in our county. And she made the boxes, she put the information on it, then she made contacts with locations so they would collect the food. Then she went back and collected the food and donated it to the group that she chose. So again, you see that there's project learning that relates, they're building their skills. It also includes service or community service and volunteering, but it's developed by the member. That's the most important part. The neat thing about all this is it goes perfectly together with the congressional award. Now, the minimum age for this award is 13 and a half, but it works. You document your volunteer public service, your personal development, physical fitness, expedition, and exploration. So this is something that we will more than happily help you progress on your journey. And we have some people in the county that are currently working on the congressional award. We have some that are pretty close to getting the bronze medal. There's a bronze, silver, and gold medal that go with this accomplishment. Now, this is where I messed up before, so I'm going to try and not mess up again. So I'm hoping you can still hear me. So this is your week 5 challenge. The first option is to look at your elected officials, research the names of local or state representatives, and look at the area that they represent and the committees that they serve on. Now, the next area is to interview a person that's served. That can be the service of your choice. It could be military, it could be a firefighter, it could be law enforcement, it could be military service. So over the phone or on a Facebook Live or a Zoom or any way you could virtually connect with them, conduct an interview. Now, this works perfectly, but if the person lives in your home, if it's a grandparent that you have contact with or an aunt or uncle, you possibly can do a face-to-face interview. But check with them, think about some questions you want to ask them, but for sure cover their area of service and their duties, and just find out something interesting that they've seen or they've done or they've accomplished. Just kind of connect with them and find out what was important to them or what they thought was important about their service. Now with that, if it's a personal interview, you will do a video. If it's online or over the phone, just make notes and write up who you interviewed and answer the questions there. And you can give that to us at the end of the week. Now, the next one's a little bit bigger, and this is where we're going to look at sewing 4-H masks, and we're going to mail them to our quorum court members and elected officials here in the county. And with that, we're also going to have handwritten notes. So this is a little bit larger community service project that we're going to work on. So with this, I've picked a particular mask that has the fitted nose piece, and it has the optional filter for the lining. And I have 4-H fabric, and this is the mask made up. It just has the 4-H fabric on the top or on the front that you can see. It has the soft loops, and at the office, I have fabric that can be used for these. So we will use this particular fabric to make masks for our elected officials. So if you're interested in sewing, let me know how many you would like to make. We need a minimum of 25, and that will just get our elected officials here in the county with our quorum court members and our elected officials that attend quorum court meetings. So if you would like to sew some masks with the 4-H fabric or with clover fabric, oops, I went backwards. Clover fabric, there is plenty here to make several masks. So if this is something you are interested in accomplishing, I will be happy to share material with you. But we will use this particular mask because it's a very comfortable mask to wear, particularly, the elected officials are going to be older, kind of like me, not kids. And this one, you notice it fits up on my nose and then comes down. And the ones that fit more straight across, we have a little bit of trouble with our glasses fogging up. So this model, the only reason I like this one is it has 2 factors. It has the filter option, but then it also helps with not fogging up your glasses, which is kind of important if you're wearing glasses. I also like this pattern because you can sew very small child size patterns and you can sew very large adult size pattern. So it has a really huge size capability. There's also a YouTube that if you sew at all, it will walk you straight through how to construct the mask. And then the other option is if you don't sew, but you want to help with thanking our quorum court members, we also need 25 handwritten notes. So we have the stationery here at the office. We have the pattern here at the office and the fabric at the office. So let us know if this is a project you're interested in. And I will get a packet together and we'll work out a way to get it to you. I maybe can drop it off at your porch or at your mailbox kind of thing. But we will get the fabric and or cards to you so we can help thank our elected officials for serving us and helping us have safe communities to live in. So remember, community service is really important. It is a foundation of our 4-H program, but service learning is where I'd like to see y'all go to. Both of them have a place, but I want you to grow and mature in your 4-H experience to become someone that's really had a great opportunity with service learning. And the nice thing about service learning is you've learned some of the basic steps, and then you can help the younger ones come along. You can help the clover buds learn the lessons that you've learned, which is so important. I really want you to stretch your comfort. This is not part of the weekly challenge. This is something I'm just challenging you to do as one of our Saline County 4-H members. I want you to stretch your comfort. And I know not everybody is a senior 4-H member, and I'm not talking about just senior 4-H members. Clover buds, junior members, you can make a huge difference in our community too. So don't always think just because I'm younger, I can't do a lot. You have huge imaginations that we really want to see you make those positive impacts in our community. So stretch your comfort. And you can do great things. Sometimes we as adults, we limit you, but you can do amazing things that we probably don't even know about and we hadn't even thought about. So see a need, make a difference. Community service and volunteering is important, but when you're just providing community service, typically someone else has planned it and you kind of more or less show up and you help. But if you're learning through service learning, you're taking those skills and you're making a difference, you're seeing an issue or a concern, and you're making it better in your community. So I really want you to think about how you can do those bigger projects. Now, the fun thing for the week is our week 5 winner. And I'm so excited to look at the things that you submitted this past week. You all are doing amazing entries when you are doing your weekly challenges. And I can't believe we're already at week 5. But okay, delay's over. This week's winner is Ethan from the Lions Pride 4-H Club. Congratulations, Ethan. I will get your gift card out in the mail to you tomorrow. I appreciate you providing your submissions. It was wonderful. And I don't want you to forget, your Saline County agents are still here for you. We're still working. I'm your County Extension Agent in Family Consumer Sciences. Megan is your 4-H agent. Nicole is your ag agent. We all 3 have 4-H responsibilities. So we are your agents, and we are glad to be working for you and with you. And next week, Nicole is going to do pet care, and particularly pet care in the area of companion animals. So I'm looking forward to seeing what you do, what you choose to do for your Citizenship Weekly Challenge. And reach out to us. Let us know if you want to participate in the sewing or the note card writing, and we'll get the supplies that you need to you. So have a great week, and thank you for all the work you do with 4-H.